I was driving west on Route 50, cutting through miles of nothing, chasing a sunset that felt like it would never arrive. The air conditioner had died hours ago. My playlist had run out, and I hadn't seen another car in over 30 minutes. That's when I saw him, standing by the shoulder, thumb out, faded backpack at his feet. He looked harmless enough. Mid-30s maybe. Scruffy, but not dangerous. Just a guy trying to get somewhere. I almost didn't stop, but something in me said, don't be that person. So I slowed down, pulled over, and rolled down the window. Where you headed? I asked.
West.
He said with a smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. As far as you'll take me. He didn't ask permission. He just grabbed his bag and slid in. I told myself it was fine. I was being kind. Besides, I'd drop him at the next gas station or motel. We drove in silence for a while. He didn't offer a name, and I didn't ask. Eventually, I tried to break the quiet. Long trip. He nodded.
Looking for someone.
That was vague, but I let it go. Then he said,
You ever get the feeling like something's following you?
I glanced at him. You mean like paranoia? He shook his head.
No, I mean like something is really following you, and it doesn't matter how far you drive. It's always just a few steps behind.
I laughed nervously. Sounds like you've had a rough week. He didn't laugh, just looked out the window. That's when I noticed something strange. He had no reflection in the glass. I blinked, looked again. Nothing. My mouth went dry. We passed a green road sign. It said Garrity, 12 miles. I'd driven that route before. Garrity was a ghost town. Literally. Empty buildings. No one lived there. Not for decades. I told him I'd drop him there. He smiled again, wider this time.
Perfect. That's where I'm from.
My stomach flipped. I kept driving. I didn't want to stop anymore. I didn't want him in my car. But we were in the middle of nowhere, and my cell signal was dead. We rolled into Garrity just after dusk. The streets were silent. The windows were boarded. Even the air felt wrong, like something had drained all the sound out of the world. I pulled over. Here we are. He looked at me.
Not yet.
What do you mean, not yet? You said this is where you're from. He leaned in closer.
No, I said that's where I'm from. I didn't say I was going home.
I didn't wait. I opened the door, got out, and told him to leave. He didn't. So I walked away, pretending to call someone on my phone. Just to spook him, I circled behind a broken-down building, waited 10 minutes. When I came back, the car was empty. Relieved, I got in and started driving. And then, 10 miles later, I heard breathing. In the back seat. I slammed the brakes. Nothing there. I checked under the seats. Opened the trunk. No one. I drove faster. The next morning, I stopped at a gas station hours away. Grabbed coffee. Stumbled into the bathroom. And when I looked in the mirror, he was behind me. Just standing there. I spun around. No one. But he's there now. Always. In reflections. In windows. In shadows behind parked cars. Sometimes, I hear him breathing in the dark corner of my bedroom. Sometimes, I find muddy footprints by the door, even when it's locked. He doesn't speak anymore. He just follows. I didn't pick up a hitchhiker. I invited something in. And now, I don't know how to make it leave. I was supposed to be on the road for 3 hours. Maybe 4, tops. A straight shot across the state. Nothing complicated. My car was full of gas, the weather was clear, and I had my favorite playlist going. No rush, just the hum of tires and the blur of scenery. It started feeling strange around hour 5. I checked the GPS. Still the same road. Still headed the right direction. But I couldn't remember passing any exits. No towns. No gas stations. No cars. Just mile marker 113. That was odd, because I'd already passed it 3 times. I blinked, thinking maybe I imagined it. A lot of these roads looked the same. Fields, fences, the occasional tree. But then I saw it again. Mile marker 113. Same dent in the pole. Same crooked angle. Same patch of weeds at the base. I slowed down, stomach twisting. Maybe I had made a wrong turn and was looping back. I pulled over and opened the map app. No signal. GPS frozen. The blue arrow just sitting there, pointing ahead. I turned off the engine and got out. The silence was so deep it pressed against my eardrums. No wind. No insects. The heat from the asphalt shimmered, but the air was still. Dead. I walked over to the marker and touched it. Cold. Solid. Real. I got back in the car and turned around. I drove 20 minutes in the opposite direction. No exits, no signs, no change. And then, mile marker 113. Same dent. Same weeds. I hit the brakes, heart hammering. I looked behind me. Nothing. In front of me, just the road, unbroken and endless. I kept driving. I didn't know what else to do. An hour later, the sun hadn't moved, still hovering in the same patch of sky, like it was stuck. My playlist looped the same 3 songs, and I hadn't seen a single other vehicle. When I passed mile marker 113 again, I screamed. I floored the gas. I didn't care anymore. I needed to go faster, like I could outrun whatever trick this road was playing on me. I watched the odometer climb. 70 miles, 80, 100, but the landscape didn't change. Mile marker 113. Eventually, my gas light blinked on. I'd driven for what felt like half a day. No end, no people, no escape. The worst part? I started seeing my own tire tracks on the shoulder. Not fresh ones, faded, like they'd been there for a long time. Curving in the same places, matching every swerve I remembered making hours ago. And then, as dusk finally crept in, I saw the car. My car. Parked off the road just ahead. Identical. Same license plate. Same dented bumper. Same dream catcher swinging from the rearview mirror. I swerved around it in terror, heart pounding so hard I thought I'd black out. I drove until night swallowed everything. Then headlights behind me. I glanced in the mirror. It was my car. I could see myself driving. But the face wasn't mine. It was something else. Something wearing my face like a mask. Eyes hollow and too wide. A grin stretched impossibly across its features. I screamed and sped up. But it stayed behind me. Just a few car lengths away. Always there. Chasing me through the eternal dusk. Every so often, I pass mile marker 113. And each time, I'm less sure I'm real. Or maybe I was real. Back when I had a destination. Back when the road still went somewhere. Now I just drive. Endlessly. I first noticed the car on a Tuesday morning. It was a gray sedan. Old, maybe early 2000s. Nothing remarkable. Faded paint, cloudy headlights, a small dent above the right wheel. I only noticed it because I'd seen it in my rearview mirror when I left my apartment for work. And then again in the grocery store parking lot that evening. At first, I chalked it up to coincidence. Maybe someone just happened to have the same schedule. But then it was there again on Wednesday. Parked across the street from my building, and later that night, idling a few spaces away when I picked up takeout. By Thursday, I was watching for it. My stomach clenched every time I turned a corner, and every time it was there. Same car, same silent presence, never too close, never doing anything illegal, just always there, always watching. On Friday, I left earlier than usual, took a different route to work. Took turns I'd never taken before. The kind of detour you take when you want to get lost. But 20 minutes later, there it was. 3 cars back. My hands were shaking on the wheel. I pulled into a gas station and waited. So did the car. I got out and walked toward it. Slowly, cautiously. My phone was in my hand, camera open. But the second I stepped off the curb, the car pulled away, smooth and silent, and disappeared down the street. I tried to tell myself I imagined it, that I was being paranoid, but I didn't sleep that night. Saturday afternoon, I drove an hour out of town to visit a friend. We hung out for a while, and I tried to act normal, tried to laugh. But when I walked out to my car around sunset, the gray sedan was parked 3 houses down. Engine off, windows tinted. I ran inside and told my friend. He walked out with me, skeptical, but the car was gone.
Probably just some creeper,
He said.
You should report it.
I did. The police took a statement, nodded, and told me to call if it escalated. But what did that even mean? Escalated how? Sunday morning, I woke to the sound of my phone vibrating. A text from an unknown number. You drive like you're trying to hide. I stared at the screen for a full minute. Then I threw on clothes, grabbed my keys, and ran to the car. The gray sedan was parked across the street. Facing my window, I drove. No destination, just away. Past neighborhoods, past highways, past any place I'd ever been. I watched the gas tank drain as the sun set behind me. I stopped at a motel in a dusty little town just off the interstate. The kind with flickering signs and only one vending machine. I checked in. Room 6. The curtains were thin. The bedspread smelled like smoke. I didn't care. I just needed sleep. But when I peeked outside before locking up, the sedan was there, in the lot, facing my room. I didn't sleep. Just laid in bed with the lights off, clutching my phone, staring at the door. No knock ever came. No sound. Just that hum in my brain, the knowing. The next morning, I checked out. Drove until the roads felt unfamiliar again, and still it followed. I tried something desperate. I waited until dark. Then I turned off my lights and pulled into an overgrown path in the woods. Killed the engine. Sat in silence. Waited. I don't know how long I was there. 15 minutes, maybe more. Then headlights. Slowly passing. Then stopping. Reversing. I ducked low, heart slamming in my chest. The car stopped just outside the path. The engine idled. Then the lights went off. I could see nothing. Then a door creaked open. Footsteps. Crunching gravel. Coming closer. I didn't wait. I slammed my door shut, started the car, and tore through the trees, branches scratching the paint, tires screaming. In the mirror, I saw nothing. No car. No man. Just night swallowing everything behind me. That was 3 days ago. Now I sleep and rest stops with the engine running. I haven't gone home. I don't check my messages. I don't call anyone. Because if I stop moving, I know what'll happen. The car will catch up. And I'm starting to think. It doesn't want to follow me. It wants me to lead it somewhere.